Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? It's Friday, and there's a lot of things that's been going on for the last, couple of days. New reports, updates. Donald Trump looks like he's gonna, press the button. And I don't mean that the red button, but they're going to start to resume the attacks. There's been ceasefires for weeks. You've been hearing about all these ceasefires with Israel and Lebanon having a ceasefire for like 2 weeks or so. America claims they had a ceasefire, but all these negotiations with the regime, it didn't work. No one is coming up with any solutions. It's just back and forth. Uh, America has lost the war, right? But he has to prove a point right now by doing something because Iran has not given in. The strat of Hormuz, I guess, is starting to be affected. Other nations are starting to feel the the effects of that. I guess the ports being closed off. So yeah, it's interesting things what's going on. Donald Trump is once again talking more. He's giving them basically warnings. There's a lot of warnings going out, people. A lot of warnings are going out. But yeah, what you got to say about this war right now? It's a couple, 2 months, over 2 months in. The war's been in like a 2 months going on from the end of February, right? February 28th. I believe it was February 28th when it started. And now it's May 1st. So it's 2 months. He said earlier in the war it would be how long he would say he was trying to say a couple more weeks and it would be over. So now we could count that it's 2 months. So there's no more ceasefire. I'm guessing there's no more ceasefire because right now it's Friday. So I noticed the deadlines always drop on Fridays, right before the weekend. So the ceasefire is over, people. Now the next thing is for attacks on Iran. So I'm expecting America to start hitting the facilities, knocking them out, go into the they're at the strat right now. They're trying that. I'm hearing that's affecting, but it's affecting a lot of people. It's affecting other countries. There's countries with no oil. There's countries with no power, hardly any power. It's hard for them to it's getting hard for other countries to survive, and they're blaming this war. So because of that now, because they've been this whole strat now is blockade by America, the world is feeling it now. The rest of the world is feeling it. Other countries are starting to get angry. They don't have no patience because I'm hearing certain countries, they're starving basically. The people are starving. So this blockade, this strat is actually very vital and very important to the world, right? So Trump, I'm hearing he's trying to name it in his name, put it in his name, the strat. Trump Hermuse. Like he keeps going. He's like, sorry, like a clown, like the world clown playing games with the American military. So right now, right, update, they're going to hit. He just didn't want to hit because he didn't want to destroy the real estate. It's real estate, good real estate in Iran. So why would you want to destroy the real estate and then you got to rebuild? So now he's forced in a position now to actually make the American military attack. But this is something I'm going to tell you, people. This is all of a show for a lot of people. It's a show. It's a show for the world because what I'm about to tell you will shock you if you don't know. Years ago, remember, Iran always been on America's, I guess, target or focus. Iran with their nuclear program for years, way back. So when Obama was in charge or the president, this is what happened. They sent out a cyber attack on Iran's nuclear plants. right? The facility, the Natanz facility, their nuclear plant. Obama, their administration, is called Stuxnet. Look it up, people. Stuxnet. I got my info on here, so you could go Google this up and you'll see it. Stuxnet. So that cyber whatever virus, if you want to call it, or cyber attack on Iran in 2010. It was 2010, right? It destroyed the insides of their network, their facilities. It destroyed a whole bunch of stuff in their facilities. This was like AI type of technology way back. Obama unleashed it, right? So they don't need to go to Iran like what they're doing now, what they're showing the world. But this is a way of colonization. Trump is working at lightning speed. Trump wins, NATO pays. You think so? Grand Garden. Well, right now there's going to be some attack going on. This is the war report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, the war report. Yes. So the next step is for Trump to show muscle now. This month he's calling like the God month for America, right? I don't know if people forgot about that he was trying to name May, I think, a special day, right? So right now, a lot of things is going on. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the war report. So even as we talk about this war, this stuff with Iran, they were trying other distractions. Like they're talking about aliens now. Like you got people talking about UFOs, that they're gonna actually address that information from the Pentagon. Is that important? A lot of people think it's important. But at the same time, America is having the muscle, like, blockade. That blockade, right? It's a serious thing. Let me look it up. That blockade is screwing up business. So this is the recent stuff. I'm going to tell you what's going on. People, so U.S. Iran war live updates. Iran says war's not over. Trump says King Charles agrees Tehran cannot have nuclear weapons. So this is the thing, the scam, what I'm telling you guys. He's selling you on. This is like the Bush thing again. He's hoping everything people are dumb and he brings out this fake news and stuff like this. So unless the Democrats and the Republicans are fully separated and they don't care about the world or their country, this is what I'm going to say. Trump he keeps talking about this nuclear stuff, and then I'm going to go back to Stuxnet. That's something they don't want me to talk to you guys about, right? So it says the U.S.-Iran war highlights Trump says Iran has come a long way. Questioned if it will go far enough. The U.S.-Iran war live update. Okay, oil surges, to the highest prices since 2022, with no end in sight to the U.S.-Iran conflict or choked off energy flows through the Strait of Hormuz, heightening concerns over rapidly shrinking global supply cushion. Okay, so we know that's going on, but we know that's going on in result to Trump, but there's a lot of things going on. This is the War Report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So, how deadly is Dark Eagle missile? There's a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been on here for a while, people. I'm going to charge your tariffs. He's still talking these tariff stuff. So, this is part of the War Report. He's still talking about tariffs. I swear that they took all those tariffs off, the Supreme Court. So, he's still trying to fight with the tariff stuff. That's not helping America. He had to pay back, or their government, $166 billion. Trump's people, the administration had to give back because of the tariffs. So let's see. I gotta see what else is going on with this guy. What else is going on? It says, I want the recent news 26 minutes ago, right? Iran live. Trump teases restarting war. It is on. How are you restarting a war? How can he be restarting a war if the war's on already? He just took a ceasefire. That was all this negotiation talk for the last almost month. It's been a negotiation talk all of a sudden. Iran war. Okay, so let's see what you're saying, people. And after Venezuela and Iran, China has no more free oil. You don't even know the game that is being played, but you think you know what's going on. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. Non-conformists. There's a lot of things going on. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Iran President Mossad, I'm not saying his last name because I don't know how to say it, said the U.S. naval blockade of Iran ports was an extension of military operations, describing it as intolerable. Meanwhile, this is what Trump's saying. Donald Trump said he might need to restart the war with Iran. Isn't the war already going on? How is he restarting the war? Isn't the war going on already? He's going senile already. It comes as the US president has given his blessings for Iran to compete on American soil in the Summer World Cup, saying let them play. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said, "You know what? Let them play." So he's talking about the soccer team. What's important with this man? He's lost the war, man. America has lost the war, but he's restarting the war. The war, did it ever end? Has the war end? Right? Nonconformists trying to say something, but you can't say anything, man. You gotta come with the smart talk on here. It's down to earth. So the White House reacts to Iran's new proposal. So let's see. This is not too long ago. The White House has released a statement saying it's not comment on Iran's new proposal. We we do not detail private diplomatic conversations. Sure you don't. President Trump has been clear that Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon, and negotiations continue to ensure the short and long term national security of the United States. So he's using an old tactic to scare Americans, to make Americans and everybody feel in the world very scared. And this is the excuse to be in Iran. Their excuse to be in Iran is because they got nuclear weapons now. The first excuse was the people, saying that the people are being oppressed and a whole bunch of stuff. That's why they went there. Then now, the new thing is the nuclear weapons, which is a lie. They're not there because of nuclear weapons, of them trying to pursue that shit. This is actually some evil shit what's going on, because the real stuff is the oil. They're there for the oil. They're not there for no nuclear weapons. The more he talks, it looks so obvious. It's like from the Bush times, right? So he's trying to tell people because of the nuclear weapons, what they're still trying to produce, that's why he's going there with the military to hit them. Bullshit. It's for the oil. Just be realistic. You're upfront most of the time, but he's lying this time, Donald Trump. He's there for the oil. He's bringing this nuclear weapon stuff. I don't even think the American people believe him that he's there because of nuclear weapons. Not even the American people believe he's there for the nuclear weapons. No, he's not there for that. Because let me tell you a story, and I don't know if I said it earlier, that Obama in 2010, right? What they done to Iran, they sent out a thing called Stuxnet, right? It was the ultimate cyber attack. They attacked their nuclear facilities with a press of a button. They sent out a big cyber attack and hit the nuclear facilities, destroyed tons of it. I could look it up. So why are they telling you, why is America there right now? They're just there right now to just take physically make you see something. They don't need to go attack Iran on foot and stuff to destroy the facilities. They don't need to bomb the facilities. So why are they telling you this? They don't need to bomb the facilities. I hope you know, right? All they need is to do the same thing that Obama and that administration has done. And they didn't want to claim it. If you look up the history for Stuxnet, Stux and net, just look it up. You say it was Israel and America. That was them. What's going on now? This war is not just America, it's Israel with America. But in the last month, they've been trying to silence this. They've been trying to make people not realize this. They've been fooling a lot of people for the last month. America has lost the war, people, right? It's 2 months going in. He's claiming for the last weeks that it's just going to be 4 more weeks and they're out. The Strait of Hormuz, Iran still has some control in some way. America is doing the blockade affecting business, right? America is doing the blockade affecting business, right? And it's hurting. So what's next? There's a lot of stuff what's been out. What? Attempted assassination. This is the other stuff. Something big is going to happen. I just realized the attempted assassination. This is the war report. Now, that is a story. If you want to know about, people might call it, they're going to bring up all types of conspiracies with that guy who is a school teacher, right? And he went from California on a mission all the way to Washington just to take out the administration and Donald Trump. He went all the way from California. That's how much he hates the Republicans, or how much he hates Donald Trump. That this man risked, he gave up his life for Donald Trump. This guy left from California all the way to Washington to storm whatever that dinner what they had. And now he's facing like life, maybe even more, right? School teacher, educated, and everything. And now, look, who wins? Donald Trump. This guy, well, I forgot his name. I could look him up. But this part of the war report, because he almost got assassinated. So you know something serious. Trump's gonna actually do something big. Whenever something like that happens, which is a big event, right? That is a big event, that assassination. It's going over people's heads. See? You notice? No one's talking about it too much. But guess what? Because this is the war report. Besides this, because I'm not just going to talk about the war, I'm going to talk about the other aspects, what the energy around this war is causing, and more to come in America. More to come in America. This is American terrorists or whatever. People are worried. I was warning people before. People are worried about Iran. Now you got to worry about people who are just American and not stereotypically these undocumented people. This guy was an educated teacher, right? He has all types of degrees and stuff. So angry at the Republicans or angry at Trump. Erica Kirk was there too, I heard, and she got like PST or whatever that they call that. She was like crying and stuff. It's like reminding her of her husband getting assassinated. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, support the platform. The Down to Earth Network is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So let me look up this. Trump's it's like almost like acting attempt. Some people think it's fake. Some people think it's fake. All right? Some people think that was fake. There's going to be the conspiracy theorists who are saying that was staged. But then people are saying, if it's staged, this guy's risking to go to prison for like forever. But you got to look on it. Trump kind of made this guy kind of give him a pardon in a way, because when Trump was asked the question about the attempted assassination, this is his mistake, what he said. He said, this guy's sick. So by saying this guy's sick, if I'm his defense, right? I'm his lawyer. I'm gonna say, plead for insanity. The president even said you're crazy. So plead for insanity. The president said you're crazy. So that's a good case because he said he's sick. So if he pleads for insanity, just say he got that. Not saying he's gonna, but just say he got that plea. That's insanity. He's not gonna be going to prison for life. He probably would go to some type of a facility for a short period of time and then be out again. Yeah, don't be surprised. This guy who they put, right? They probably seen him on the radar. Will be probably free one day. I'm not talking a long time. He's not gonna spend a long time in prison. Because all he has to plead is insanity. As Trump said, he's sick. So that means Trump is saying he's crazy. He's not in his right mind. So this guy's educated and everything. He's supposed to be educated and everything, and he does this. That means he's sick. Like, think of it. You're so educated. Stereotypically, people are saying that this guy is in his right mind. He has all these degrees. But in reality, that don't mean nothing. That shows you people who could have all these degrees are in places of power are sick. Maybe Trump is right with what he's saying about the sickness because what's his name? Epstein was a wealthy, successful financier, and he's sick. He was sick, right? Epstein was a wealthy person and he's sick. So that's to show you what's Trump saying. Trump rejects Putin's Iran. Something's going on, people. It's the war report. Mm-mm-mm. Trump NATO threats spark fears of Putin gains. Some stuff I'm seeing with Russia, man. Stuff is cooking up for real now. Shit. And then Jimmy Kimmel, like this guy's going after everybody, Trump. Jimmy Kimmel fires back at Trump, jokes about the fallout grows. Jimmy Kimmel is a target other journalists. It's funny. The place where he was getting assassinated. I'm trying to find the dinner, right? It was a journalist dinner. It was something like a dinner for like correspondence, and Trump's been lashing out of the media, the MAGA media that was supporting him. He was lashing out at Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and all of these people. A lot of things is going on. You know what? It's not a fun time actually. I'm joking, but it's kind of scary because it's too much what I'm seeing going on. So it's like a super distraction what is going on. I haven't been on here for a while. So what I'm seeing now is like crazy with Trump. Trump backs Iran's World Cup participation. Let's see what else he's saying. I seen him earlier. See Putin. So he says he's doing some crazy stuff. He's doing all types of stuff. Well, he's turning 80, right? He gotta do a health checkup on Donald Trump, man. That's what's going on. Canadian officials unexpected message from Trump an hour ago. Canadian officials get unexpected message from Trump. He's all over the place. Shit. Trump signs bill funding the Department of Homeland Security, ending record shutdown. He's doing all types of stuff, man. This is fun for him, man. This is fun. He's playing with the American money like Monopoly, man. So, like I was saying, they don't need to be in Iran like that with the thousands of servicemen there. But I think they want to secure the real estate. They could destroy the shit with a cyber attack. That's why Iran has hit America with a cyber attack already. A cyber war. How they describe it with Obama in 2010, they called that a cyber war. So America was already doing a cyber war with Iran from 2010. But that's not going viral. I'm telling you this now on the Down to Earth Network. People, bring up the likes if you can, support the platform. Everybody who's watching, support the platform. Hit the like button. But anyways, from 2010, that's why you notice there's still a beef with Donald Trump and Obama. You notice these guys he has a beef with Obama, right? Obama made deals he accuses, it did happen. Obama did do a deal. He done a deal with Iran years ago, right? Years ago when he was the president. And then there was the Stuxnet stuff, which this super whatever cyber thing knocked out the Iranian nuclear program. It damaged it. They still probably, you know, trying to fix all the stuff what happened, but it wasn't a bomb. All America had to do is, and Israel, send this super cyber attack on their facility, and it worked. And it's saying that um, the machines destroyed themselves. So that's the technology they got. It makes sense. They're just showing you like the bombs is all fancy stuff, and all these other stuff they show us. But all they have to do is press a button. All they have to do is press a button. They don't need to do nothing like put all that military showing you that they're in the there like that. No, they don't. They could send a missile straight from America to where Iran is if they want. Everybody forgot the capabilities. People are thinking, oh, America has to be all the way over there. No, America could send a missile all the way from America to Iran. You know why I say this? And people want to know? Because, for, which they did do that. Well, no. Hiroshima was different. They had the plane. They had a special plane. They could do that now. From America, hit any place in the world. If they claim they go into space, with a jet, a rocket ship to go to space. If they're telling us all of that, that means they could go anywhere in the world and hit America. So you make it make sense. People have common sense. America has advanced weapons. Yes, much respect, RM. Yes, advanced weapons. They don't need to go nowhere with any military. There's a movie long time back in the days. I have some older brothers. They used to watch a lot of movies, especially 80 movies. Watch a lot of 80s movies. They're telling you the future, right? I think it was called War Games. They had a thing called War Games, right? And let me just read this comment. See, at least I'm seeing the MAGA supporters coming back in the chat. Long live Trump, long live King Trump, long live King Trump. See, old head games. So now that you're in here, old head games, there was a movie. You must know this movie called War Games, right? And it was about, I forgot who was the actor, but it was about this kid who he had a computer. This is in the 80s, and he somewhat way access the American military, because he was playing games on his computer, right? These games, and I guess the American military was watching him and seeing what he was doing, and then they got him. They picked him up from his home, brought him to, it could be the Pentagon and shit, and they were fighting, I guess, a terrorist, or was it Russia? I don't know. But he stopped. They used this kid back in the 80s. He had a computer. That was rare. You had to have money back then to have a computer in the 80s. Now that would be like PlayStation or Xbox, right? Because now the systems are even more advanced. But this guy had a computer playing war games, and he helped save the world playing the games right in America. That's in the 80s. Look that movie up. That movie they don't promote too much. I was going to do a podcast just about that movie, War Games. Let me look it up. That movie is telling you now, gaming is the biggest right now. Gaming wasn't big in the, like, arcade games was big, but gaming wasn't big in the 80s like now. Don't forget that China, Russia, North Korea, India, Pakistan, and a few other countries can send a rocket into space. Listen, that space talk, I'm gonna leave that for another day with the whole space stuff. Much respect. They probably maybe I would put it the way that you're trying to say they could probably hit America. I don't feel that any country could hit America from their country. They can't do it. I don't believe that. I believe the only way they could hit America is within. These countries can't do nothing to America. Because remember now, right? Unless the UK has something special we don't know about. Who's going to space, right? Or so-called controls space. I said this even when I was younger, a long time. Whoever controls space controls the world. You hear what I say? Let me say it again. Whoever controls space controls the world. Doesn't it make sense? If you're the only ones out there doing all the research, they're claiming China's going to space, India's going to space. No. Russia and America, right, and Canada are the only dominant ones you've been seeing in space, control the so-called space. So if they control that and the satellites are supposedly in space, as they say, that means America, the military, is in space too. Don't forget, they can knock out any satellite, any Chinese satellite, any Indian satellite for their military. America could easily destroy that shit. So America, no one's gonna do anything. Don't forget, they're not gonna do anything to America with no missiles from no country. They can't do shit. Listen, America after World War II, right? Before World War II it was a little bit different. I know my history too. I'm gonna get down to earth with all of you because I actually know that I don't even need to read nothing from the net. So World War II, after World War II, the Germans, right, who was with Hitler, right, the POWs, prisoners of war. People keep forgetting about that. People bring up the likes. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Support the platform. Bring up the likes. The prisoners of war. Many of these guys. Do you ever hear about what happened to them? Every side had prisoners of war, but you ever hear what happened to the German prisoners of war? There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Germans that passed, that died from the war, and then there was thousands and thousands and thousands that never died in the war, who was with Hitler. So, and there's others. There's survivors of the war, like a lot of the Jewish people, that's in America and other places, right, and Israel. But World War II, after that, a lot of those scientists, because remember, Germans were doing all these tests, these crazy extreme tests when the Nazi Party and Hitler and all of them were in power. They're doing a lot of tests on humans, all types of stuff. America wouldn't even do it. And they got these POWs to work for them in the American military and do stuff. Some people might call it a conspiracy, but it's fact. There is that. A lot of them, they took them to work for American intelligence, right? That's one of America's dirty secrets. And Russia too. Russia, they don't give a damn. They took a whole bunch of them, but they were treated worse. The German POWs that the Russians took, they were treated badly. But it's coming back to them. I'll get back to that story. It's coming back to them. But in America, they took them, and even in South America, a lot of them went to South America. They went to Argentina. That's why there's a history down there with Germans. They went to Argentina. A lot of them hid the ones who were there going after, the ones more notorious, they hid in South America, right? Some of these people who came from Germany or was escaping, they're trying to hide from the Americans. They went to South America. That's why now you have to really look on it. Why South America, how they put it, so notoriously looked on with the cartels, right? And they got a lot of military weapons. Like that's a stereotype to put. But a lot of the Germans, the Nazis, the ones who was trying to escape, hide from America, they went to South America. And when they went to South America, they built up Argentina, places like Argentina. So now, what's going on in America now, with America, is coming right back around. It's coming right back around. That there's going to be conflict, conflict, which always existed because Vietnam, right? Russia, America. Um, I think they had what? North and South Korean War. America was in that. Just look on all the wars. There's always a pattern. Look who's fighting against each other. Cold War. What was the Cold War about? America and Russia. This whole thing is a monopoly. The big picture, people, is America and Russia and this whole shit, even with Iran. Iran's been known to be under um, Russia's influence and China's influence for a long time. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, people. But it's known that Russia always been with Iran. And if you don't know, there's some stories if you want me to tell you. I'm going to get back to this is the war report with Iran. Iran, they go there to train in Russia. For years, that's been going on, back and forth. That's why they're allies. I'm seeing, looks like Putin's getting kind of angry and shit. Like, it's starting, people. If you believe in religion, you might believe in this is the end times or the revelations and all them types of stuff. Some people don't believe in anything. No optimist is badly informed pessimist. Okay, people in the chat, like, there's a lot of stuff going on. So Donald Trump, I think, is going to send out an attack. You're going to hear what he was saying. I don't know how hard the attack's going to be, but sorry, I'm expecting some type of bombing or hit from America, just to show a point to Iran. I'm expecting that, right? I am expecting that. What you saying, people? We're live and direct. This is the Down to Earth Network, the War Report, right? So this, the bad thing, I'm gonna bring it back because you could call this a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. That in 2010, Obama and his administration used a cyber attack to destroy the nuclear plant. They did not need to send a whole bunch of service people or military people in there. So, what Trump is trying to do is he doesn't care about the Iranian people. Remember, I was saying that was his excuse. He just wants the control of the strat, which is to run a control of a lot of the world, to control the world. It might sound crazy like this, but I'm going to say this. This is why this is World War III. First economic, and now is physical. He wants the physical, right? Or somebody is playing Donald Trump like a puppet. So if you control the strat, you control the world. There's other ports, but that's where it is because he got Iraq. He got, let's see the places. Afghanistan, in a way, even though shit's going on still there, right? He got the Middle Eastern oil countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, wherever. He got Bahrain, got all those good relationships. And then he got Venezuela, all the way down to South America. So he got a lot of control, or got America in a lot of places. I don't know if America wants to stay there that long after he's gone, but he already started something. He started the fire already. Trump administration says the war in Iran has been terminated. Wait. So more news is coming, people. He's saying all types of stuff. Recently, Trump's administration says its war in Iran has been terminated before 60-day deadline. Oh, interesting, people. It says Trump's administration says the war in Iran has been terminated before 60-day deadline. Washington. Trump's administration is arguing that the war in Iran has already ended because the ceasefire that has begun early in April, an interpretation that would allow the White House to avoid the need to seek congressional approval. The statement furthers an argument laid out by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He's been talking a lot during testimony in the Senate earlier Thursday when he said the ceasefire effectively paused the war rational under the rational. The administration has not yet met the requirements mandated by 1973 law to seek formal approval from Congress for military action that extends beyond 60 days. Oh, this is the war report, people. This is a big thing. So, 60 days. So they're going by the books. So this is the Democrats hitting out. Now, just say in conspiracy theory that they set that assassination up. Didn't I say some shit's gonna hit the fan after the assassination? Shit, this is like a movie, and this guy is an actor, I think. Now, let me read more. The senior administration official who spoke on conditions of anonymity, whatever, hiding himself, to discuss the administration's position, said for purpose of law, the hostilities that began on Saturday, February 28th, remember the date, people, because 2 months, have terminated. The officials said the U.S. military and Iran have not exchanged fire since the 2-week ceasefire that began April 7th. See? While the ceasefire has since been extended, Iran maintains its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. Navy maintaining a blockade to prevent Iran's oil tankers from getting out to sea. So this is like chess. This is like a chess game. This is like the war game, like I was saying. Under the War Powers Resolution, the law sought to constrain the president's military powers. President Donald Trump has until Friday, it's today, to seek congressional authorization or cease fighting. Something is dropping, y'all. They put Trump in a situation. It's like a fight, a boxing match. Yo, he has a limited time. He has a limited time, yo, people. Up until tonight. I don't know if he has it until tonight. Let me read it. Under the War Powers Resolution, the law that sought to constrain a president's military powers, President Donald Trump had until Friday to seek congressional authorization or cease fighting. The law also allows administration to extend that deadline by 30 days. So there's a fight going on that shows you Trump didn't go through the proper lines to do this whole war, which I'm not surprised. He didn't go through the whole thing. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes, support the platform, hit the like button, people. It's the Down to Earth Network with your host Sean Myrie. So it says there's a deadline. So you know what he's gonna do? Sorry, crazy Trump. If there's a deadline, salute. He's gonna drop something now today. Like you see how what we're talking right now, up until maybe I'll give it 8 o'clock before this deadline is up. They're gonna do something because it's possible they could pause it more. Does he want it paused? Maybe he might. I don't know because he gave them a ceasefire. Today was supposed to be after the ceasefire is over. There's no more debating. There's no more talking. It's up to Washington, the Democrats, if you call it, the other people, to basically force this. So let's see. This is really important, people. I'm gonna read more for you guys. The deadline is not a suggestion; it's a requirement," said Senator Susan Collins, Republican of Maine, who voted Thursday in favor of the measure that would end military action in Iran since Congress hadn't given its approval. Oh, that's why he went around Congress. He didn't get the approval to go. She added that further military action against Iran must have a clear mission, achievable goals, and define a strategy bringing the conflict to a close. They got Trump, man. This is the chessboard, like you're playing the chess, and now they got rid of like what? One of his soldiers or some shit like that. Okay, let me give you guys a little bit more. Richard Goldberg, who served as the director for the Countering Iranian Weapons of Mass Destruction for National Security Council during Trump's first term, said he has recommended to the administration officials that they simply transition to a new operation, which he suggests could be called Epic Passage, a sequel to Operation Fury. They're saying to run. I don't blame them. They're saying to basically run. We are not surprised about him. Shouldn't, man. This is like a joke. So the new mission, he said, would inherently be mission of self-defense, focus on reopening the strat while reserving the right to the offensive action and support the restoring freedom of navigation. Yo, they're all over the place. When you know what I mean, that to me solves it all, added Goldberg, who is now a senior advisor at the Foundation of Defense of Democracy. The Democrats want a time to do something, it seems. So there's a lot of battling going on right now. People, this is the War Report. Bring up the likes if you can. Support the platform. This is the War Report Down to Earth podcast. Everybody in the chat, bring up the likes. Bring up the likes, people. We're on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, everywhere, and even Twitch. So, people, what's going on is a lot of stuff. He got to let something off right now, Donald Trump. They give him a deadline today, like maybe even a couple of hours. I don't know. But he's going to let some type of, the military is going to do something. Because if they don't do anything now, they can't do nothing for like, how long did they say? Like They have to renew something. Let me read it again because this is the most important news besides all the blah, blah, blah out there. But no one's going to tell you really about or focus on. So it says, because they're saying that the deadline is up. It wasn't approved by a Congress. This war wasn't approved by Congress. You know what that means? If the war is not approved by Congress, that means it's illegal. Like, only certain people know about politics. I don't know everything, but I grew up talking with my pops about politics, guys like this, and all the laws and shit. So you could trust me. It's D2E, down to earth. Bring up the likes, people. Support the platform. So what's going on now? He didn't get no support. It's kind of like when Bush went to Iraq illegally. So Congress did not put it through for this guy. He's been getting a fight from Congress for the tariffs. You remember the tariffs? The terrorists, they pulled that shit. After that, he started the war. You notice that? After that, he started the war when he lost all those tariffs. So now, here he goes again. All these ceasefires because he thought that they were going to surrender. The Iranian officials went to Pakistan to talk to American officials. Nothing, no agreement. They had several meetings. Didn't work, right? It didn't work. So now Trump looks like an idiot again. America, he's representing, has lost. The MAGA people, who was a lot of the MAGA supporters, they're all quiet now. Many of them. The only thing they could say is Trump is king. That's all they could say is Trump is king. The assassination attempts, I believe, well, he said, I'm saying attempts, allegedly. That gave him sympathy. That is a desperate draw to get your sympathy. Like, oh, I can't believe, look at Donald Trump, how much times he almost got assassinated. Damn, damn, right? Entertainment, because he almost got assassinated. Every time after he gets attempted assassination, something big happens. You don't notice. Something big happens. Right now, the last assassination, I swear, not this one, what just happened, but the last assassination, you know what he said? Why he went to Iran? Now he's saying nuclear weapons. This is to show you. That's why I've been documenting this. You know what he said he went to Iran for? And Vance said it because they threatened him. He blamed Iran for attempted assassination. Which one is that? Which one is that? Which one is the attempted assassination from Iran? Which assassination from Iran? Where's the evidence? He said that they were. That's why they went to the war. Remember that. And now he's saying it's a nuclear weapon. MAGA, where are you? They're not speaking MAGA. They're quiet now. People, please subscribe. Bring up the likes. Support the platform. Bring up the likes, people. Just hit the like button, right? And subscribe. So it's all over the place. But the biggest lie is that they're telling you they need all that military in the Middle East with 50,000 service people. 50,000 women and men or whatever is in the Middle East. So if you're American, that's 50,000 of your people close to danger, right? I don't know if this is a big blood sacrifice or whatever they're doing because America just needs to press one button from the Pentagon and do everything. They could destroy their nuclear facility with one touch of a button. They don't need to go there with all this military. So they're fooling people, right? They're fooling people. How you guys feel, especially American citizen, that this guy's playing with your life or your children's lives if they're soldiers over there? That's crazy. And this Hexeth guy, he's a character too. Did he hear how he was talking in the court? It's almost like a movie. I swear he was an actor or something. They said he was an actor in Hollywood or something he was in the media before he was a politician working for Donald Trump. So there's a lot of things, people. The 60-day deadline is over. America should be out. 60 days is finish. So now the midterms are here. And the midterms could even make it worse for Donald Trump because the timeline, right? It's over, right? And the midterms, he has a blockade in there. So what happens if the Democrats win most of whatever they call seats or the midterms? What happens? And what happens if they have more say about this war? So Donald Trump's in a corner right now. The king is in the corner right now. That's what it's called on the chessboard. The king's in the corner. So he has to make a move now. And his move is before this deadline's up today. I think by maybe 6 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock tonight, the deadline's up. So once the deadline's up, he cannot continue with whatever action. They had a ceasefire for 2 weeks or more. He kept making it longer. It's this long and that long. It's crazy. But now countries are angry at America, first with the tariffs, right? That's no good, the tariffs. And now with this whole thing with the strat, no joke, no lie. Countries are suffering because of shortage of oil. And because of the shortage of oil, people can't drive to send stuff to grocery stores or wherever the markets are. It's short supply. Maybe they get some through, but they're having a hard time in other countries, all because of this war. So a lot of people don't agree with Trump all around the world. You got what's his name, Putin starting to talk. Other people are starting to talk. China, they're starting to talk a little. They're talking more. China, but you got this is World War III. That's why I've been saying it's not just whatever people say conspiracy. It's World War III right now, 2026. It was already in motion from the two towers dropped. From the two towers dropped, it was really in motion. And it's scary times now because on the net, when you go on Instagram, they got people talking about aliens, all these different distractions, right? These big distractions, aliens and these conspiracies, and then they have Epstein, and it's just all hitting you quick, right? It's hitting you fast. So some people take someone like me who could take some energy in, right, and be blessed to give you what I see. And what everybody sees everything. Some people's their minds need to be open more. They don't see it. But some people religiously now in their beliefs will think this is the end times. Some people been conspiracy theorists saying that Trump is the Antichrist. I don't really believe that for 100% still. I'm not going to say that he's the Antichrist. But he's definitely making history for something to happen, right? So because Iran is modern day Babylon, with America too. But I mean, that's where it was, right? The whole Middle East area. So if the Masons, if we want to get more, because this is the war report and they're part of that, right? If these Masons really believe what they believe in, and these secret societies believe in what they believe in, this is the times what they're doing it in right now. Because you got Israel. Israel is supporting America, and America is supporting Israel, right? These conspiracy theorists and other people been talking about this for years, and they've been filtering out the media. They done it to me. We're living in scary times. They done it to me. They're doing it to everybody, right? It's exactly like the movies. Watch a lot of these movies. I'm gonna recommend some, like Enemy of the State with Will Smith. You notice Will Smith is turned crazy and shit. Like they're making him look crazy and stuff, a man like that. Watch Enemy. Maybe from that time he was never the. Watch the Enemy of the State movie, people. Right? That one is the closest to what's going on right now. Trump is like Bullsworthy. That movie, it was a comedy too. In the I think in the 90s, mid 90s, both worthy, where he was predicted to be the president. I'm not surprised he's the president. I saw him being a president in the future. This guy, Donald Trump. I saw him coming from the 90s. Right? I saw Donald Trump coming from the 90s. I said one day that guy's going to be the president. I had arguments, debates with my pops. He said, no, that guy will never be the president. I said, no, he is going to be the president because of his influence, the people he knows and stuff. He is. He wants power and stuff like that. He is going to be the president. And he is the president right now. And then there's conspiracies of him being the last president. That's scary. Have you guys heard about that book called The Last President Trump? Have you heard about it? I've been hearing about it for the last 2 years. My friend put me onto it. He says there's a book. It says Baron Trump. I think it's called Baron Trump. And it's funny how this book just starts to be talked about. Maybe it's not going viral about predicting, like, that's very controversial. But he's the last president. That's how they put it in the book. I can look up the book. But right now, this deadline thing is very important. He has to hit off something now. They gave him a deadline. So today is the deadline. So don't be surprised you hear about some big attack hitting Iran. Some big attack hitting these sites because they're saying now it's restarted. He just went through that, the ceasefire. Let's do a ceasefire. Let's make us look, we have to look humane. We can't just go all out. Let's give them the 4 weeks. It's like, can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for those weeks to go through. Vance was telling them, we got to do it right, Donald. We got to do it right. Let's just wait out the ceasefire. And after the ceasefire, you could play with your toys. They waited. Now he wants to play with the toys. They got the strat. They have the strat blockade. So the next thing now, right, is to hit them from the top. But they're in a situation where it compromises them because they want that property of real estate. They don't really want to damage their what's called a nuclear plant. They don't want to really destroy it. They want to capture it. Trump wants to capture it like a pirate. That's his dream because they got Venezuela. You got to think he got drunk off of Venezuela. They went there, attacked, took the president, took it over. He got so confident and hey shit, that's the power we got like that. They actually bowed down to us. We got the president from the country still in America right now. That's a mystery, right? So imagine what I could do to those guys in Iran. And you know what now? It's not working. It's not working. It's not working, brother. This first time, it's not working, Trump. It's not working. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. Support the platform, the Down to Earth Network. So, right now, there's a deadline. I'm guessing they're going to be hitting something. I don't know. We're all probably any minute now, any hour, we're going to hear something. The American military has to do something. Much respect. The war will never end because Russia is back in Iran. You're right. And they just accused China of supplying weapons. America just supplied China of supplying the weapons. And as you were saying, Northern Cast, the war will never end because Russia is back in Iran. Yeah. And Russia has their war. The same Cold War is still going on. So America and the world, this is, if you're religious, this is revelation. Don't they call it Gog and Magog? Right? So this is revelation. This is what the Christians been talking about and other people, the late night talk shows when I was little. You hear them talk about things like this, wars to come and shit like this. So talking about Russia, Gog, Magog, China, and Russia. That's what they with America. So that's what they were talking about. So you're right. They are backing Russia and China is backing Iran. They always been with Iran, right? The fall of the Republican gets saved and filled the Holy Spirit. The fall of the Republicans are against Trump too, right? A lot of them. Like that's why he called a lot of them assholes. That's why he kind of, you could tell he doesn't trust a lot of them. The bear will rise and the eagle will fall. Trump really was sent from God. All right, is it God or the other one? Is he? Is he? So he said the eagle is America because that's what represents to America, and the bear is Russia. What's China? What's China's there? What's China? So right now, today, market is May 1st, right? Trump is calling May the God month, or he's calling it King month or something. He's dedicating it this month. Remember, people, I told you on the War Report Down to Earth Network, he's making May America's religious day. This man is putting his face in the money like Caesar. Recently, I heard a stamp, correct me if I'm wrong, has his face in it. Which president, they said, has ever done something like that? Right? Which president? This is like Caesar. He thinks he's like these guys. His face in the money, his face on stamps and shit. The man has his own police, the ICE. Those ICE people, they are his police, special police. Don't forget that. That's his special police, the ICE. They're out there to get all American citizens who's against them, right? Get saved and fill the Holy Spirit. Yeah, yes, you get saved, man. Bless you too, James Haley. Yes, man, bless you too. Everybody got to get saved. But now, in the flesh, in this real world, you just got to do what you got to do, right? And make sure you just live the best you can. Nobody's perfect. But this guy right now, Donald Trump and his administration, some people claim that he's getting influenced by darker forces. He has come out, Donald Trump, blaming the other guys for the war, saying they're the reason, right, of this all going on. He's blaming people, right? Let me get some water. He's blaming a lot of people, man. He's blaming a lot of people. He blamed his own people, right? Rubio, Vance. These guys told me that we have to go to Iran, right? Back and forth. Now his war is on journalists. His war is on journalists, man. This man has wars for economics on the world. He has a war against Iran. He has a war on drugs. He has a war on, I don't know how much wars this man's fighting at one time. He's fighting a lot of wars, people. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? Did he say that Trump is influenced by the unholy spirit? No, he didn't say that. He said he's influenced by the Holy Spirit, James Haley. So a lot of things is going on. Right today, there's a deadline. There is a deadline that Trump has to beat. So is America going to attack now? Right now, I'm telling you the time. No joke. Remember what I said on this broadcast. From 1 to maybe 9, I'm giving it. You're going to hear some hard hitting somewhere in the Middle East with Israel, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. So Trump rejects Putin Iran uranium proposal, pushes. So you know what's going on? You're right. Russia's with Iran. Russia is basically right now trying to work out a deal, or trying to tell America to shut up. They're trying to tell America to kind of stop with this. They want them to work something out. So it says Trump NATO threat spark fears of Putin gains. Donald Trump threats to cut U.S. troop levels in Germany and other NATO countries has alarmed allies and raised. Okay, let me see. There's a lot more. Okay, I want to read on him and Russia. Trump troops cut threats unsettled Europe. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No. Okay, Putin potential strategic opening. Right? So this is Putin. Putin is supporting Iran, as somebody said in the chat. They've been supporting them a long time. China been supporting. They're both what's called, you know, communists. So let me read this. Putin potential strategic opening. A Harvard Belfer Center report warns that Russia may escalate hybrid warfare or attempt a limited incursion on NATO's eastern flank with 3 years exploiting divisions under Trump's presidency. The analyst urges European capitals to prepare for scenarios where U.S. military support is delayed or absent. Trump's rhetoric on NATO's absence during the Iran war reinforces doubts about immediate American backing in crisis. So, as things are going on, it seems that there's this international fight going on, and Russia is trying to make their moves. They always do this, Russia. See, it's a chess game. What they're doing is, meanwhile, America is busy. They're gonna start going doing their own thing, which they've been. They've been doing their thing with Ukraine. But there's talks that, oh, Russia kind of been quiet. You notice they're talking a little bit, but they're being quiet. It's because they're gonna start doing their own incursions. NATO's saying that Russia, they believe Russia's gonna start to take shit up too, take over stuff or go where they please. Because they say if America could do this, we could do this, which we've been doing. That's what Russia's saying right now, people. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, people. Support the platform. All you in the chat, man. Hit the likes. All 57 in the chat, hit the likes. It supports the platform. Trust me. Supports the platform. Trump approves. Now, what else is he doing? This is the war report, people. And I'm gonna keep on it. There's gonna be something big coming up. Did he say? Yeah, there's something big coming up. The deadline is today. The deadline is today. 100%. The deadline is today. Uh, they could stop it. The midterms I'm hearing is going on. Right? It's still going on. It's still going on. So, if the Democrats were to get stronger in the midterms, right, this is all gonna fall apart. Which there's a threat of the midterms not going Trump's way. So right now, I didn't know that he didn't get approval from the Supreme Court. He didn't get approval for this war from the beginning. So if he didn't get approval for this war in the beginning, and it's like they have to restart it all over. It's the deadline is 60 days. They're saying it was 60 day thing. So February 28th, right? It's May 1st. So it was only legit for 60 days. So what does that mean after today? Something big shit's gonna happen. Didn't I tell you, people? What does that mean after today? What's gonna happen? There's not gonna be any more fighting going on. Like for Americans, I'll be happy for that. That shit. Maybe this will stop and they will actually come back. Can the Democrats, if you are a Democrat, can the Democrats really pull this off and make him stop? But it seems that he went too far. Like he's too far gone. All he needs to do is drop some type of big bomb or some type of missile on their facility, and it keeps them in there longer, right? So I think it's like a license they gave him for 60 days. If he does anything, right, and the deadline is passed, that will be war crimes. You see what I'm saying? So the military can't really listen to Donald Trump after if they don't approve it after the 60 days. They could listen now. So the military, he only has power over this military for a couple hours. He has a couple hours left of power to do anything. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What do you guys think of that? That he has limited time. That's scary for how he goes. Like I said, any minute now, like what happened with the assassination with him, the attempted assassination, any minute now, you're going to hear something. You're going to hear something 100%. The Iraq's new pick for prime. Well, check this. This is the government building, right? Trump gives his blessings to Iraq's new pick for prime minister and invites al-Zadi to Washington. Because they control Iraq. This is a puppet. This guy they put there, look for him in the future, man. This guy, I swear, he looks like he's like Saddam Hussein. Like he could be related to Saddam Hussein. Who is this guy? See the distractions right now that they have? Iraq approves a new president. They have a new prime minister, whatever you want to call it. But Trump's the guy behind that. Trump's behind that, or America's behind that. Let me just say, America controls Iraq. Let's be straight up. When you win the war, what happens? If America won the war, which that's controversial. If America won the war in Iraq, shouldn't they be controlling things? Think of it. Trump gives his blessings to Iraq's new pick for prime minister and invites al-Zaldi to Washington. Yes, Baghdad, U.S. President Donald Trump called the Iraq's new prime minister designate Thursday and extended an invitation for him to visit Washington once he has successfully formed a government. The Iraqi prime minister, I know what Trump's up to. Whoo! You know what Trump's up to, people? Guess what he's up to? This is the war report. This guy, I have to give him it. I have to give Trump this, man. By inviting this guy, making strong relations with the Iraqi prime minister is perfect to fight against Iran. Because if he gets their old enemies, I see what America's going to do, man. I see what Trump's going to do. You all know what they're going to do, man. Y'all know what he's going to do. This is so easy. They're going to start supplying Iraq with weapons, man. This is the Cold War again. Because Russia and China's not listening. They're still helping Iran. So I see what's going to happen. America is going to forcefully make Iraq deal with them. This is like a shakedown. This is like a modern day shakedown. He calls an invitation to the prime minister of Iraq. You have to come to America. Of course he has to come to America. America's the one who took out Saddam, the so-called dictator. They owe America. So you come to America, sit your ass down and listen to what I'm saying to you, Zaladi, whatever your name is. You're going to give us access fully no matter what. I know we already have access there, but you're going to make sure 100% American base is in Iraq, which is already there probably. But now we're going to give you some weapons and more supplies, and we're going to use this place 100% to attack and do all that shit from. They got all the other bases. They got all the other bases in the Middle East. You got Israel. You see, you may call this a conspiracy or, you could get blackballed, but because Israel is involved, makes it very controversial. And that's when the religious part comes in, because the elephant is in the room. Let's be straight up. The elephant is in the room that the Jewish people and the Muslim people of those regions don't like each other. They hate each other. There's no unity. There's no peace. They historically, religiously hate each other. So this is America helping Israel. Israel is the 51st state. You can make friends. Join the chat, people. Bring up the likes if you can. Please subscribe. Israel, when he was joking about Canada, taking over Canada, Trump, he was trying to call Canada the 51st state. But the 51st state is really Israel. Life shorts. Let's start a new life. If you're lucky, if you could start a new life, man. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So Israel is controversial, but don't forget, because normally everybody's saying America against Iran, America, but it's America, Israel. America, Israel against Iran and whoever, some more people, right? That's what's really going on. That's what's going on. So they have a deadline, which I don't know how much other content makers are going to tell you this, but they do have a deadline today, up until maybe tonight, to do something. So is Trump not going to do nothing? This is the question. Is Trump not going to make the military do anything before the deadline, or will he do something before the deadline? One in the chat, if you believe Trump will do something before the deadline, or he won't. Two, if he won't. Two, if you believe he will not do anything before the deadline. One, if you think he will. Let me know. If you think Trump is going to do something before the deadline today, give me a one. Give me a two. No, because he's doing something. So the report. Yes, this is the report, man. This is the report, and you're knocked out. You're knocked out. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff too. Ah, so you okay? All right. One, two. So yeah, one right now thing he might do is attack, or he's gonna make it just go past the deadline so he could get more time to talk. It might be like that too. Maybe he does not mind the 30-day whatever like extension, because that's the only thing he could do. That's what I'm hearing when I look it up. You only could have a 30-day extension if they approve anything. So they're probably going to give him the 30-day extension. But does that mean those 30 days of extension he's going to start really fighting hard, or is he going to still do ceasefire and negotiations too? uh yeah, man. He's going to probably want the extra days. The extra days. Will he it's going to be interesting what happens, man. It's today. Today's judgment day, right? Friday. Today's the judgment day of if something happens before the deadline, or when the deadline is passed, he can't do anything. He can't do anything. He has to wait a little bit for some maybe extension. That's it. Can't do anything. This is the War Report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. Support the platform, people. Support the platform. It's the Down to Earth Network. It's the War Report. So, the same time all of this stuff is going on, Kash Patel, the FBI guy, he's doing a lot of running around. He has to prove to Donald Trump that he's a good FBI director. Donald Trump has not been happy with him recently. You could see that this guy's trying to build his support with Donald Trump. This is the guy who got hacked. The head of FBI got hacked. So, what I'm trying to say, let's look through the bullshit, because this is down to earth. They don't need, I'm going to say it again, America does not need to go over there and do any physical military. But he wants it for another reason, like colonization, right? They could use a press of a button to disable their nuclear facility, like they done in 2010, right? When I was looking that up, right? I'm gonna look that up because I don't think you guys know what Stuxnet is. Right? It's very sensitive on here. You guys know what Stuxnet is? You ever heard of it? It's an American weapon, cyber weapon, right? It's an American cyber weapon, Stuxnet, that they let out. They're saying America, right? Allegedly, and Israel was behind the cyber weapon what destroyed their facilities in 2010. Obama. And it destroyed itself. It was malfunctioning, the facility, and it destroyed thousands of work. Let me see if I can get this. Stuxnet. Look it up, people. Look up Stuxnet, and you're gonna see what I'm saying. Look it up. Look it up, and you're gonna see what I'm saying. Look up Stuxnet. Then you see all of this word bullshit. When you see that, you're gonna say something's not right. You're going to say something is not right. Why is, if Obama could do that, it was a cyber thing. And now that I'm talking, I see my computer giving problems, right? These guys would disable their whole system, which I was saying. It says, can't reach this page. Looks like the web page I'm looking for. I'm not looking for that page, man. Not looking for that page. Playing with me right now, right? Stuxnet disabled the Iranian nuclear program in 2010. They did not need to do all of this stuff what they're telling you they're doing now. They did not need to go to Iran in this fashion, what they're doing now, what Trump is saying doing now. The only thing he's doing, he does not give a shit about them and their nuclear stuff, because they could stop that anyways. He wants just the oil and the real estate. He don't care about the people. When all those people were protesting and people claims of unaliving, thousands were getting unalived, he used that as an excuse. And then he went there and all he could talk about is the regime and how he's negotiating with them. We're negotiating with who? Aren't they the terrorists or the scumbags? I gotta say this, what he said. He called them scumbags. He called them all types of names. And basically, they are evil or whatever. That's all types of words. And then he's trying to claim it wasn't the supreme leaders people he was dealing with. It's somebody else. But we see it's the supreme leader, people who control the country. He was telling people for a while that they're talking to somebody else, not the supreme leader people. Dirty job, man. Think of this years from now. That's why I'm getting down to earth with you people from now. Years from now, if God save us all, hopefully this world's around, right? You look back at all the stuff this guy has done is some crazy ish. And he don't care because he probably feels he ain't gonna live that long. He's 80 years old and he's going on. I mean, yeah, he's about 80 years old. By the time he's finished, he'll be older. So he don't give a damn what people think about him. He just wants to be known that he's went down in history and shit. He doesn't care about the American people. He don't care about nobody but himself. And that's fact. People, bring up the likes if you can. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. He don't care about nobody but himself, people. People, this is the War Report. We're on Spotify Podcasts, Down to Earth Network. We're on Apple Podcasts, Down to Earth Network, all podcast platforms. We got everything. You look in the link, tons of content. But what I'm talking about today in the War Report, I don't know if anybody's going to tell you people like I'm telling you that there's a deadline for Trump. Trump is a great man. He could be great for some, right? Who some people love him and some people don't like him. Right? David Peterson, are you joking? Are you trolling? Do you really think Trump is a great man? Some people think Trump is great, some people don't think he's great. You're one of his supporters. But right now, America is losing because he's got 50,000 of you in the Middle East, right? For what? You know where he's there for? So they could capture real estate. He wants the Strait. The Strait of Hormuz. You control the Strait of Hormuz, you control the world. You control the world if you control that. You can't control the world. They already got enough control. America got a lot of control already. The monopoly is there. This is him trying to build the make America great again, build the empire, keep the empire going, right? That's what it is. He's talking against the Pope. Just look what he's doing. He's so big. He's the biggest character in the world, this guy, Donald Trump. He's disrespected the Pope. He's talked about the Pope, people. Talked about the Pope. Coincidence, the Pope is American. He said he's the reason the Pope is in there. He's the only reason the Pope is the Pope. That guy's the Pope. So you see who you're dealing with now. This man makes pictures, AI pictures of himself looking like Jesus, and then lies about it. He makes AI pictures looking like Jesus, lies about it. He has Michelle Obama and Barack Obama pictures like monkeys, and then he lies about him not being the one doing that. This man, he don't care. Truth Social, I guarantee he's hitting today. That's going to be his algorithm. Truth Social, people. You should call it Lie Social. You should call it Lie Social. Right now, when I'm talking about Stuxnet, I'm trying to get Stuxnet. They're playing with my net. They don't want me to tell you all about Stuxnet, the details. Let me see if it comes back up. Say so, can't reach. What's going on? The weather's just a little gray outside right now. We must stick with Jesus. God is waiting on some of you. Yes, man. Stick. If you believe that, there's some people who don't believe in no God, Cherry. There's some people who don't believe in God. There's some people who believe in other religions. So respect to your what you believe, but not everybody believes in what you believe. This is the world, people. Please subscribe, bring up the like, support the platform. This is the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie, the War Report. So today is probably one of the biggest days for what Trump is doing historically. Today is the day ceasefires are finished. Negotiations don't seem like that's going on. Um, it should be the attack time, right? So he's has a couple hours to do something. If he doesn't do anything, then it's not good. It's frightening Trump. Okay, it says, oh, the weather outside is frightening. Trump's MAGA are so delightful since there's no particular place to go. Let it snow. Let it snowflake. Let it snowflake. Oh, yeah, that's jokes, David, Danny, Luke. You guys read that in the chat, man? You read that? Right now, man, there's a lot of things going on with this guy, man. There's a lot of things. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. And the administration, Vance and everybody, they're doing a lot. The assassination attempt by that teacher, you got to really look on it now. Look on from then. This is history, people, as you guys are in the chat. Look on this assassination thing, which just happened recently, right? And now, what's going to be going on? So that guy, that teacher, I'm surprised he didn't die. The people are talking about him, but not enough. But they are going to talk about him because I could tell they're doing a media filtration when that story just came out. So Trump wants to top that right now. He needs something to top that because all the attempt assassinations, if you're smart, you could see through the bull crap. Either way, if these people are doing it themselves or the government knew they were coming. Like the one I talked about must have been sensitive. I'm not going to talk about it too much. The Mar-a-Lago one. He was at a dinner the same time, but wasn't at his estate. This guy came with a gas canister and a shot-off gun. That he was unalived quick. They took him out, the Secret Service. He got taken out. Trump wasn't even there. But this one, Trump was there. The guy comes in, basically came all the way from California. That's far. Went all the way to Washington, had a hotel a couple days, and then he ran through. I swear it was upstairs now. They're saying it was upstairs. He ran through and he was shooting. He let off a couple shots. No one shot him. Still alive. Now we know who he is. That's a joke. Was not intended. Okay, night violence. Sorry. But yeah, okay, Snowflake. That's a joke. It's okay, David. Yes, man. But yeah, the guy, the assassinator, or so-called attempted assassinator, he got through. I was surprised. That was like history to me. I'm like, damn. He survived. I seen the video when he ran by so quick. I guess maybe they didn't want to hit anybody, but he ran by quick. They all pull out the weapon. He got through, and then managed to let off shots, and then they tackled his ass. He didn't get shot. This is history for a black man in America with a gun going to the White House and actually surviving. He's done something what no black man probably could ever do in America, and he's probably a hero to a whole bunch of the people who are against Trump. Think of it, right? T baby, Steve friend. Yep, a lot of things going on in with regards to the Epstein stuff. I think there's a new documentary, what's been released on Netflix. I watched a little bit of it, and they're going around to Trump in it. It's a recent Netflix. There's been old ones, but there's this new Netflix series, and I gotta watch it. I'll probably watch it tonight about this whole Epstein stuff, and they bring Trump back up into it. Actually, I stopped watching it around when they get around to Trump, but it's such a coincidence that all of this stuff is going on, and Netflix released. Who's behind releasing it? Maybe it's the Democrats. Of course, the people who don't like, they want to release it because of Epstein, but Trump's in it, right? So a lot of people are probably watching that tonight and this weekend. People are just starting to find out more about this this documentary, right? So a lot of things is going down. There's distractions, of course, going on, tons of distractions. Um, it's working for Trump in a way, the distractions. It's working for him. Because think of it. Shit. And I'm going to bring this up, people. Drake, they always use a media person to distract people. If you look on it now, it's May 1st, right? And besides Donald Trump, the biggest other person in media is Drake. He got this Ice Man album coming out May 15th, right? So he's actually taken away a lot of the algorithm from Donald Trump. And by time as it gets into the summer, by May it gets into that summertime. That's when the war is probably supposed to heat up, or some big like I'm sorry, I cannot see it getting better with Iran and America. Right now, I see it actually getting heat. Right now, today as we talk, history May 1st, I see it really heating up very bad. Like it's not gonna be nice. And why I say Drake, I brought it up. Besides in the media and the filtration, he's the biggest distraction, if you want to call it, to kind of level things up because everybody's into that. Like when the battle was going on, everybody's talking about that on Instagram, on YouTube. Drake dropping Iceman, and his name. That's another thing is gonna come up. The guy's album is named Ice, like the Iceman, who's been an enemy of the state with America for some Americans for the last couple months. So it's named Iceman. So people are gonna make fun of Drake who don't like Drake and bring up that too. They're gonna start bringing up Iceman. Imagine the posters for this guy. He's a pop star. He's next thing to Michael Jackson now. He's not as big as Michael Jackson, but he's the next thing to Michael Jackson now, Drake. And even that movie too. Respect to that movie. Even that is a good distraction for the war. The more media is out, what is attractive, it helps them get away with shit or do stuff in front of your eyes. So what I'm telling you with Drake now, when he drops in May 15th, drops that May 15th, and then he starts doing tours in America, that's gonna overshadow a lot of shit. A lot of Americans don't like the war. They don't care about the damn war, but they're gonna care about some entertainment. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, support the platform. The Down to Earth Network is on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all podcast platforms. So what I'm saying with Drake, besides Donald Trump in the algorithm, it's him. That's how big this guy is, right? Like it or not, people could talk about Kendrick and all that shit. But besides Donald Trump, what he's doing within this war is that guy. Respect to him. I'm just saying there's a lot of distractions right now. Tons of distractions. Tons of distractions. They've done it for the last month, yo. They've been doing a filtration for a while. When I was trying to go live, they've been knocking out the lives for a while. I had to rework some stuff, and I'm updated. They were knocking out the lives, doing all types of shit. You could tell they want to do some type of censoring, or the powers that be don't like certain things to go through the algorithm. But it is. That's why he doesn't like Alex Jones now, Candace Owens, and other people in the media who talk against him. Because that's what's been hurting his support. The MAGA, he has lost a lot of MAGA support. He has lost tons of MAGA support. It's not the same anymore, people. Now, let me look up something else. What's going on? For the ones that are still in the chat, it says, lawmaker warns imminent strike now on table that could lead to mass death. That's the recent news I just got. Let me go back to that. That's the recent news. Lawmaker warns imminent strike now on the table could lead to mass death. You see Bush and Hegseth, that guy. President Donald Trump is prepared to do something reckless in the Iran conflict that would get large numbers of people hurt or killed, unalived. Senator Richard Blumfeld, D.C., warned CNN's Ernie Burnett on Thursday evening. So they're saying that's why a lot of the military elites, they quit or he fired them because they're telling him you cannot do what you want to do in a short period of time. it would take longer for you to do what you want to do militarily. But he wants to speed stuff up because he claimed for a long time it would be just a couple weeks. That's what Trump been putting through, just a couple weeks. So this don't look good. This is recent news. Washington cut off guard by new Canada, Denmark military stuff. Canada's doing something with the military too. So Trump is like caught off guard with it. You don't like that. Washington caught off guard by new Canada Denmark military deal. Ah, I see. Because Denmark, right, you were threatening Greenland. Remember? You're threatening Greenland, Trump, to take them over. So what is this? It says Washington caught off guard by new Canada Denmark deal. Canada and Denmark have entered into a new defense cooperation agreement to protect against external threats. What it said, this is interesting, man. Okay, so Western Hemisphere, Trump has targeted. Damn, it's going too fast. Let me bring that back, people. So Canada and Denmark, they're planning a defense pact. Thought the first year, so because of Trump. Trump was saying he wants to take over Canada, the 51st state. Then he says he wants to take over basically where Greenland is, right? So now they both came together. They both came together and said, nah, man, we're going to protect this stuff, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? Bring up the likes. What do you guys think about what's going on in the world right now, man? What do you think? It's crazy, eh? It's crazy. A lot of things going on. But like I told you, there's a deadline. I have to remind you guys once again, there is a deadline today. After the deadline, it's going to be different for the American or Trump to do anything after today. And they're saying, okay, let me go back. A lot of news is going on. President Trump grants King Charles final request after special bond forged in the U.S. Him and the damn, whatever, King of England, kissing his ass. Iran wants China to take key role in negotiations with the U.S. That's 2 hours ago. So there's all these talking going on, all these meetings going on, blah, 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 blah. War games, people. War games. I'm telling you. It's war games what's going on. War games. So that's all it is. Right? This is the War Report Down to Earth Network. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, man? It's Friday. Right? Friday, 20 minutes to 2. And like I said, I found out the recent news, gave you the war report. I told you that they don't need to be in Iran. They don't need to be there. All they need is to press a button. It's a training up. In Trump, we trust one nation under Trump. You serious? You serious, man? Are you serious? Leak reports show basic training pass rate fell apart. Okay. Are you serious, man? People call Trump king. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, people. Support the network. Support the platform. We're on all podcast platforms. Elon Musk bans. What is he doing? Elon Musk is doing a lot too. You remember, he was part of the administration. He's starting to do a lot behind the scenes. Meanwhile, we're talking about all of this stuff. He's making things up. No, it's a joke. Okay, I know. Okay, I know. Respect for the jokes, man. Elon Musk is doing a lot of stuff as this war keeps going. He's watching. He's said a couple of stuff out of his mouth, but he's careful, right? Because he's with Trump, kind of, you know? He's just watching this stuff. He wants Trump to stop China because it affects his company. That's what I'm going to get to. Tesla, unless Tesla has a deal with China, right? Because Elon Musk has energy efficient vehicles, they and if Elon Musk's good friends are still associated with Trump, Elon Musk doesn't like that China is trying to provide a whole bunch of EVs, electric vehicles to Canada, for example. That's why Trump is angry with Canada, really, because of EVs. They're trying to replace a lot of the American vehicles, Canada, with that. You're for Ukraine? Well, Russia is fighting with them still. America was helping. I don't know if they're still helping with Ukraine. Maybe they're still helping with the Ukraine stuff. I know Canada 100% is helping Ukraine. They've been giving billions of dollars to Ukraine to fight Russia. So that's why I said it's a world war, right? Canada's helping and America's helping Ukraine fight Russia. And then you're seeing all this stuff. Russia and China is helping Iran against America. What's that? Fighting a war, man. And then you're hearing about this cyber stuff. It's crazy. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? The Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Do a little sports break tonight. I don't know, win or lose. The Raptors are playing the Cavs, right? Game 6 in the 6. Drake is probably going to be at the game. Drake will definitely be at the game, sitting his ass down on an ice chair, watching the Raptors play. The worst thing is for you guys to lose at home, right? But you know what? Anything could happen. I'm not gonna have high hopes seeing what happened to the Blue Jays and shit like that. But Drake is definitely going to be courtside watching that game, and hopefully the Raptors could win this one. It's better off you lose in Cleveland. Don't lose in Toronto, boys. Lose in Cleveland. Trust me. I'm not even gonna watch the game. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe I should watch the game. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. That was a little sports break, man. I'm gonna try to do more of that. I know that the Blue Jays lost today to the Twins, right? They lost April 30th. It must have been an early game, right? Giants against the Phillies. The Giants lost against Philly. The Astros beat the Orioles. So baseball season, nah, people. If you're into sports and all of that, baseball season, NBA playoffs right now. This summer, FIFA is going to be in America, Canada, right? So that's a big thing. We're going to hear about a lot of stuff. But like I'm saying, in regards to this war, the U.S.-Iran war that burned 12 billion in weeks. Whew, probably more than that, man. It's probably way more than that, right? What do you guys think? How much money do you think has been spent on this war so far? I think it's trillion, not no billions. They're saying the U.S.-Iran war that burned 12 billion in weeks. So just say they say weeks. It's been 2 months, right? I'm doubling that. I'm saying it's like 22 billion, near 30 billion. Maybe more, man. All that military muscle down there with all those aircraft carriers and stuff like that, jets and what else ever they have. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Even though America has the oil now, I don't know how they're making the oil from Venezuela, how it's working, but America has a lot of the oil. But the main thing is, are you doing good in America right now? Are your groceries good? Is the oil low since all of this takeover? Is your oil prices low? Is your groceries low? If that is, then you don't give a damn what Donald Trump is doing. But if it's really affecting home, then you probably do give a damn what he's doing because all that money is going to other places. The war, right? So if America is all right, the people, the citizens, with this war, then they could do what the hell they want. So far, I haven't seen any protests. Haven't seen any big protests so far. Haven't seen no huge protests what shut down Washington on this war. Haven't. Have you? Let me know. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, support the platform. We good. We want that air money. Oh, see, at least you're, yeah. I like people. If unless you're joking, you're being real. You're not lying. Yeah, we want. Yeah, we good. We want that air money. Some people saying so they can't afford the groceries in America. Some people are complaining about the gas prices. The gas is hitting everybody. The gas is hitting. Let's admit that. Can't lie about that. The gas is definitely hitting everybody. right? So you probably good. Maybe you have some good money that the gas ain't nothing for you, but gas is definitely hitting people. Groceries might be different states, but I heard people in different states complaining of the high prices of groceries. He's made a campaign, make America great again. So make America great again, right? Make it so great that no American is really complaining. Not saying it's perfect, but what is the great stuff Trump has done so far? What has he put out to help the American citizens, even though he's doing all this shit, this war? TikTok. Oh, I see. I heard him say that. Oh, I see. He didn't ban TikTok. He made you guys use the TikTok. That's what he done. Yeah, the TikTok. He done that. What else did he do? What did he put through? Trying to think. What did Donald Trump? Oh, the space stuff too. Yeah, the space stuff. What else did he do? I'm trying to think what the fuck this guy. What did he do? All you're hearing him doing is going around the world. So making America great again is going all around the world and threatening people and taking over places. That's making America great again. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, support the platform. Winners win, losers lose. Yes, Canada is America, is true. 51st state. Let's go. It's been like that probably a long time ago in a way. Or maybe it's the other way around. If we believe conspiracies, let's twist it because everybody may think that. That's why they bow down and Donald Trump's kissing the prime minister's ass now. If you guys are not updated, he's been. Let's do this conspiracy theory that Canada really runs America. Let's do that. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Let's do the conspiracy in this world or these secret societies, which no one ever would think of that control certain things in the world. Like they said, the Rothschilds in Europe was controlling the world. America, if that's true, America doesn't control itself, right? If the NWO thing is true, America doesn't control itself. So all that shit, let's say if it's the other way around, people want to see it one way. It could be the other way around. The person who looks the least looks so innocent. That's how the devil catches people. Is the one that's really in control, right? They're the one who's really in control. Say if Canada really controls America, because look, a lot of the electricity, East Coast, they rely on Canada. They rely on Canada for a lot of stuff. Trump has made America ungreat all over. A lot of stuff America relies on Canada for. Canada relies on America for military. I'll admit that. That's what Canada relies on. Canada was using America for years for defense. I agree with Trump for that, in a way, right? But that's it. It's military. That's what Canada relies on America for. It's military. Nothing really else. But America relies on Canada for more. You hear that? America relies on Canada for more, but we don't. You see that? The American dollar is back. Come on. Yeah, it could be on. It's not affected. Everybody got to come for us for the U.S. oil. Not everybody. Not everybody. Not everybody. Canada doesn't need America for their oil. Canada got a lot of oil, boy, in Alberta. You know how big Canada is, right? You don't need America for oil. American dollar is back. That's hilarious. Someone said the American dollar is back in the chat, people. They said the American dollar is back. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network. Yeah, man. Someone said the American dollar is back. Ukrainian role before. So, yeah, how is this? Okay, put it this way. Tourism is hurting. Tourism is hurting in America. Let me say it again. Tourism is hurting. Do you think people want to visit America now that what's going on all around the world? So no one's visiting Las Vegas like normal, and no one's visiting um, Florida like average, normal. The dollar is losing its value. Sassamo, yes, I believe. So if you have tourism getting hurt, that's very dangerous because, like I said, you got the snowbirds from Canada that got cottages in Florida, and this war, ever since it started, is making them come back, right? And then Las Vegas, you can look it up. I didn't know. I was shocked that 70% or something like that of their tourism money is coming from Canada. 70%? Is anybody telling you guys this? I didn't even know that. I was shocked. I was saying, damn, these Canadians have money like that, even if their dollar's a little less. They're going and spending, it makes sense, money. These are Canadians with dollars. They must be the rich ones. Going there and for a good time and gambling money and staying there, and it's 70% of them? That's crazy. People don't know Canada can turn off the lights. Yes, on the whole eastern seaboard, if it wanted to. It happened. I remember I witnessed it. When the blackout happened, they blamed a bird, they blamed Canada. It was something that was going on in Ontario. When that happened, okay, I'm gonna give you guys another scenario. I'm gonna give you another scenario. When there was a fire, just what, 3 or something years ago, a big forest fire in Quebec. That affected a lot of the East Coast. I remember it went to New York and it blackened the skies, darkened the skies of New York, and it went all the way to Chicago and some other places. That thing was burning in Quebec. I remember it went far. That's the same thing with the electricity thing. What they said happened with the blackout years ago. It happened in Canada, the East, and then it affected that part of America. I remember that. I remember that blackout. They blamed Canada for it. So that's to show you something. What I'm saying, and this is the war report, these secret societies, cults, whoever you want to call it, doesn't have to be, the real power doesn't have to be a country. That's an illusion. The real power is these people behind the scenes all working together. And what you think is not, right? That's why you see Canada in space. The only other country in space with America. Look on that. And they put what, maybe Russia there or whatever. The only other country in space is Canada, right? So who runs things? It could be Canada. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. This is the War Report. What you saying, people? What's the next subject you guys would like to, your host to talk about? Put it in the chat, and I'll, make another live episode on that. The first five to put an idea in the chat for the next subject, I will do that as the episode if it's sensible, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. So, what would you guys like me to talk about? Because in the algorithm of YouTube, certain things they stop. I could give you what they say. Mr. Beast, can't talk about Mr. Beast. Finish. If you talk about Epstein stuff, yeah, you could get that. Celebrity gossip, I could talk about that. I don't really like that. But I like real life stuff. So history, anything, conspiracies, if you guys have any ideas, because we're the top, I gotta give them a shout out. Top podcast, one of the top podcasts in Canada, number 7 on Million Podcast. Much respect to Million Podcasts database. We are number 7th in for the conspiracy podcast in all of Canada. So we're trying to get other places too. But much respect to you for always, linking me in the email, letting me know. Hopefully, we want to be number 1. That's what I want. I don't want to be number 7 with my brother and everybody. We want to be number 1 coming soon. Number 1 we're looking for, right? But respect to Million Podcasts for putting us on that list. Number 7 means we just gotta work harder and get better, right? But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What are you saying, people? Any subjects? Any subjects come to mind? What you guys want to know about? I think I probably said something early in the chat that I would talk about, and I might have forgot about it, but it was very important. Why Trump wants to make Canada the 51st state, it's all geographical. Yeah, but it's already together. They're really together already. I believe that already. Some people don't think so, but I think it's already together a long time ago. It's not Trump. It's not a Trump thing. This is something from bigger than Trump. It's already been going around, going on. The American whatever intelligence comes here, and Canada intelligence goes there to America. When it's time to do certain things, Canada and America been working with each other for a long time. It's just not promoted virally online. But Canada and America has been way before Trump exists. I mean, ever was a leader. Canada and America have been doing stuff. That's old. They've been doing stuff a lot. I'm hearing American military comes to Canada to train up in the in the mountains. They've been doing that shit. Canada and America really together a long time. You know the NWO word. The NWO word. Has anybody noticed the what? Amendment consensus? A lot of things is changing. A lot of things is changing, people. A lot of things is going on. People all in the chat, do me a favor. If you haven't liked, please like. It helps the platform, man. Please like. Bring up the likes. Bring up the likes, people. Bring up the likes. Support the platform. Everybody in the chat, just hit that like button, man. Right? Build the platform up. What you saying, people? Yeah, the war report today is the deadline. Definitely is the deadline. Sassy, I agree, but those seem realistic in the public's climate. What's crazy is that Trump puts tariffs on Canada and we already had free trade, but that got thrown out. The Supreme Court threw all that out, man. They threw it out weeks ago. Like, first it was in Washington. They said we cannot keep tariffs on Canada because they're our main ally. They threw that out. That didn't go out. That algorithm didn't go big. I was telling people on the podcast. They threw that out. And then 2 weeks later or so, a couple of weeks later, they done it again. They threw out it completely, the Supreme Court, and then he got angry and said, I'm going to put 10% on more. I'm going to put 15% on more. And then after the 15%, he started the war. After the 15%, he started the war. After when the Supreme Court rejected him 2 times. The first time it was 6 Republicans with Democrats in Washington that basically threw his shit out against Canada. Right? So now people are confused. Are the tariffs still on? Because I've been hearing that Canada basically he had to bow down and they got rid of it. Right? History, mankind, come on. Trump, man. Trump. This is the War Report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? I know politics is life, but we as people have more in common with each other than we do with the billionaire class. That's Trump. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. That's Donald Trump right now. He is a billionaire. And he's an actor. Remember, he's an actor. He's not just the normal politician. He used to disrespect plenty of politicians. He used to call out politicians before he was a president. So he's an actor, and now he's a politician. That's part of on his resume now. That's what it is. So what are you saying, people? It's the Down to Earth Network with your host Sean Myrie. Please subscribe. Bring up the likes, people. If you bring up the likes to 25, I'll stay on for a little bit longer, man. Bring it up. Bring up the likes. Harris takes early lead in 2028 Democratic. She wants to run for president again. I see she wants to run for president. Kamala. Kamala. She wants to run again. So they're putting bets that no one's gonna be the Republic. They're gonna beat the Republicans. Right? That's 9 hours ago. She's actually trying to run again for the presidency. It's crazy. Trump is the best president we ever had. Might be the last one too. Bring it up, man. Bring up the likes, people. Support the platform, man. Much respect to everybody that joined the chat today, man. It's live and direct. Bring up the likes and I'll stay in longer, man. Trump is now dealing with an irate, tough German. Yeah, something with Germany's going on. Something with Germany. They're kind of getting brave. I was talking about Germany earlier. Trump reacts to King. Yeah, they're getting brave. Trump is now dealing with irate, tough Germany. Here's why. Western power. Okay, it says the U.S. president and German chancellor have locked horns. Yeah, Spain has shunned Washington. NATO alliance is more fragile than it has ever been. Western powers are determined to see off Russia's military hard power. They're familiar with soft power operations or whatever. Blah blah blah. But I was hearing something not too nice words like that guy. He's not scared of Trump, right? He's not scared of Trump. Germany's talking. Germany's talking. Let's see what it says. Something with NATO. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with NATO. But I know that the German chancellor is not. He doesn't like Trump. He doesn't like Trump, right? Spain doesn't like Trump. That's why he had the king, King Charles visit him the other day. That's the one reason King Charles visited him, was making some jokes, but that's to show you power. Trump message, power. The King of England, everybody talks about, in Europe especially. He was with him, shaking hands. That's to show the rest of the world power, right? Even though he disrespected the Pope. But that was power for Europe because he has beef with NATO, man. His beef with everybody. Last time I checked, Germany is not a world power. They're not a world power because America and Russia hushed them up, and England. But they were powerful, like with technology and weapons. That's why America took scientists from there, and Russia, right? Before they were taken out, they were one of the most biggest world powers. Don't forget, Germany was a world power, right? Back in the day. But America and Russia silenced that. If you don't know, now you know. Russia and America silenced that. But now it's been years and years. So maybe this guy feels, hey, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not backing down. And I'm going to speak my piece. He's going to open up a Pandora's box, that guy. That's all I'm going to say. If you talk against Trump, he's going to talk against you. It says, outrage by this criticism, Trump mooted, pulling U.S. troops out of Germany and after Italy and Spain. So they still got troops in Germany. Why? That's a question. Why does America still have troops in Germany if they're supposed to have won this? Is there something we don't know? Why is American troops in Germany? Look on that. That's for the next war report. I'm going to go into that for the next war report. Why is America in Germany anyways? What's the threat? Let me know. What's the threat? Why is America in Germany? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. It's the War Report, people, and I'm out.